But I tell you, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, and you ain't black.
Yo, what's up, guys? It's your boy, Benny. So Larry Elder is one of my favorite politicians out there. Now, he has never won office before, and he's a talk show host from California, but he ran against Gavin Newsom in the recount in California, did an amazing job, is an incredibly thoughtful person, and makes his arguments so well, especially the racial arguments here in America, arguing about the greatness of this country and the freedom that we have here, and also taking it to an audience that doesn't typically hear this. So we were just on the Breakfast Club. This is Charlamagne the God's show, and he turned Charlamagne the God into Charlamagne the Fraud. He brought up the fact that Joe Biden just rolled this guy when he went on a show, said, "You're not black." And there was no response. I mean, it really is amazing. He was baited. He was essentially baited by Charlamagne into saying, "Hey, you know, you're an Uncle Tom or whatever." And he just hit back so hard and so beautiful. Check this out.
Have you ever heard of the term wake-up call?
No.
It is an incident where a person of color forgets that they are of color and are reminded rather brutally by an unexpected act of racism. Have you ever had any of those?
Oh, brother.
Poor kids are just as bright and just as talented as white kids. Wealthy kids.
Just asking. You think you've ever
Well,
had
I'm acutely aware, Charlamagne, that I'm a black person, just as you are a black person. And when Joe Biden insulted you by saying, you ain't really black, we don't know whether or not you want to vote for me or vote for Donald Trump, it seems to me that should have been a wake-up call on your part. How dare this guy come in here and insult you, a black man, and tell you you got to think a certain kind of way?
If you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, and you ain't black.
I'm amazed that you weren't mad about that. I have a white guy come in here who also said, by the way, about Mitt Romney, because he didn't want to put more regulations on Wall Street, going to put y'all back in chains. And Joe Biden has lied for decades about his civil rights record, claiming that he desegregated movie theaters and restaurants in Wilmington, Delaware, when he didn't do any of that. He lied and said that he tried to visit Nelson Mandela during apartheid South Africa. He did not. And he came in here and told you aren't even black and let you think a certain kind of way. It seemed to me that should have been a wake-up call for you, but it wasn't, apparently.
Yeah, I may be a white boy, but I'm not stupid. I know where the power is. I know where the power. You think I'm joking? I learned a long time ago about the.
You know, for the record, I'm not a Democrat or Republican.
I didn't say you were.
Yeah, I think both.
I don't know what you are. I never even asked you about your party affiliation.
Yeah,
I'm just saying, but you are black.
Absolutely.
And to have a white guy come in here and tell you have to say, think a certain kind of way, otherwise you, quote, ain't black. Wow.
How should I have replied to him, you think?
What I just now said, how dare you insult me and tell me I think as a human being, let alone as a black person? I don't tell you how to think, Joe Biden. How dare you come in here and tell me how I should think? I'm going to vote for Donald Trump if I want to vote for Donald Trump. And if I want to vote for Donald Trump, it does not make me not black.
Come on, clap your hands, all you people. Tell it to God with the voice of triumph. Take it up. Come on, the power of the Lord is here.
20% of black people, black men, as I said, voted for Donald Trump in 2020. Are they not black now? So only 80% of black people, black men walking around are really black, 20% are not because they voted for Donald Trump. How insulting is that? How condescending is that?
You cannot go to a 7-Eleven or a Dunkin' Donuts unless you have a slight Indian accent. I'm not joking. Oh, it's gigantic.
I mean, you're probably right, but I didn't take it in that way.
I did.
As I said to him in that moment, you know, it's just about me wanting something for my people, and I want to know what is he going to do for my people, and not only for my people now, how are you going to atone for the things you've done to my people?
Right.
I mean, you got the first sort of mainstream African American who is articulate and bright and clean and a nice-looking guy. I mean, that's a storybook, man.
That's it.
Right, and this is a guy, Joe Biden, who, when he first got into the Senate, hung out with segregationists, talked about how well he got along with them, talked about how he didn't want integration because of a jungle. This guy has made all sorts of insulting things to black people, and his policies right now are hurting black people. Inflation hurts the people at the bottom more than anything else. Letting a bunch of illegal aliens into the border are hurting black people more than anybody else, as I said earlier. He opposes school choice when he has his own kids in private school, and we lost a year, almost 2 years of in-school education in California because of COVID that he supported. I mean, this guy has done monstrous things to black people, and then for him to come in here and tell you how you ought to think as a black person, it blew my mind.
As a person objectively who doesn't care about either party.
The reason why I have like a mixed bag on Charlamagne the God is that Charlamagne the God is somebody who has actually criticized Joe Biden. And this is exceedingly rare, right? In leftist media, there are lots of compilations of Charlamagne the God actually going hard in and saying he's just not a Democrat anymore, right? It's like not a Democrat, that this regime has broken his opinion of the Democrat Party and his opinion of what it means to be a progressive. And while I probably disagree with him on like 80% of the things, man, sometimes you can like come to terms with people on uniting against a common enemy, right? Politics makes strange bedfellows. And this is one. Check out some of these clips that have brought me a little bit of added respect for Charlamagne the God recently, along with this Larry Elder clip.
Biden running again?
Joe Biden, man, Biden. Listen, when you start your video off saying whatever, you put out your statement and it says, "Fucking, you're in condition to run."
Get out of here, bro. Democrats are goofies, bro. Look how goofy y'all are. Y'all really judge Trump and people who like Trump when you got this motherfucker running again?
You want to hear it? What did he say?
Freedom,
Oh, Jesus.
personal freedom, is fundamental to who we are as Americans.
There's nothing more important, nothing more sacred.
That's been the work of my first term, to fight for our democracy,
America's a shambles. I don't give a what he said.
Red or blue issue.
to protect our rights, to make sure that everyone in this country is treated equally and that everyone is given a fair shot at
I'm not
making
listening to 3 minutes of shit, yo. The world is in
But you know,
shambles.
around the country.
Aren't you embarrassed to be a Democrat?
America is in I'm not a Democrat.
So, yeah, boy. Yeah, boy. Yeah, boy.
I'm not a Republican either.
Yeah, boy.
I'm nothing.
Yeah, I'm not saying you got to be a Republican.
I'm just out here.
What about you, Chris? You like Biden? You voting for Biden again?
I think we could use a fresh new person on the
That's
seat.
why it's whack that the DNC won't let nobody They won't do no primaries next year, man. Do a fucking primary debate. Put Joe Biden up on that stage with Bobby Kennedy, who's challenging him, and Marianne Williamson, and whoever steps up to the plate, and let's have a fucking discussion, yo.
Is it Joe Manchin or Joe Biden, Madam Vice President?
Come on, Charlamagne.
Come
on. It's Joe Biden.
I can't tell sometimes.
No. It's Joe Biden. It's Joe Biden. And don't start talking like a Republican about asking whether or not he's president. It's Joe Biden.
Do you think Joe Manchin is a problem?
It's Joe Biden. And I'm vice president, and my name is Kamala Harris.
Like, man, where's Trump? Get this motherfucker out of here. Motherfuckers, they feel like they would rather get it raw. Like, you know what? At least we know where that motherfucker's playing. These motherfuckers is gassing us up, lying to us, promising us shit and didn't deliver.
Like,
I cannot wait to see, and I'm already watching it. I'm watching Democrats start the campaign. They're already like, Hillary, you got to go out there and vote. Like, democracy depends on it. I'm like, when y'all gonna start governing like democracy depends on it? No, for real. Like, stop telling me that the death of democracy is upon us, but you're not governing like it is.
Yeah.
If you're like Joe Biden gave that speech this week,